Blender is a 3D animation software, and its mission is to get the best computer graphics tools into the hands of artists all over the world, completely for free. That's a pretty tall order, but it can actually do that thanks to the fact that it's open source and funded by thousands of people donating every month, as well as by grants from some of the biggest tech companies. The fact that you can download and use the cutting edge of graphics technology for free to make whatever creative ideas you have come to life is nothing short of incredible. My name is Paul Kajeji with cgcookie.com, and you're watching the Blender Basics. In this series, I'll be walking you through exactly how to use Blender. The world of 3D design is incredibly broad, ranging from entertainment with video games, visual effects, and animated movies, to the industrial sector with 3D printing, prototyping, and scientific simulations. Whether you notice it or not, the results of 3D software are around you every day. Blender is capable of reading and writing any kind of 3D data, so it can be used in all those ways. But its main strength is in creating visually pleasing models, images, and movies. You can build complex shapes in Blender incredibly quickly using mesh editing tools combined with powerful modifiers and procedural nodes. You can also make more organic forms in Blender by sculpting, from stylized animals all the way up to fully realistic human characters. Blender has tools for rigging and animation so that you can bring your creations to life. You can even add physics like particles, cloth, smoke, liquid, all that fun stuff. There's also a full-blown 2D illustration and animation system, Grease Pencil, that can be used right alongside all the 3D tools. Blender has a fully featured material editor for changing how your objects look and react to light. You can use its built-in procedural patterns, paint your own textures, use textures from other software or from the web, or combine them all together in whichever way you want. When it comes time to show off your work, Blender has two powerful render engines that you can choose from to export your 3D scenes to an image or movie. Cycles, which is a full-on path tracer that simulates light very realistically, and Eevee, which is a real-time rasterized renderer, similar to what you would find in a game engine. After rendering, you can use the compositor to add effects on top of your image, which, when combined with a surprisingly robust built-in camera tracker and some footage, you can produce some really cool visual effects shots. Blender even has a basic video editor for slicing up rendered clips and putting them together to make a movie. You can even write Python scripts directly in Blender to automate repetitive tasks and add new functionality. Or you can use add-ons that other people in Blender's massive community have made. Suffice it to say, there's a lot you can do with Blender. If you're new to 3D, it's probably not like any other software that you're used to. The trade-off to having complete creative freedom is that it takes time and practice to get the hang of it. That said, you don't have to be an expert in order to start making amazing stuff. You don't have to know how to draw or how to code, although those things might be helpful at some point. You just need a little bit of patience to learn the tools, and most importantly, that excited curiosity that comes with just having fun doing something creative. If that sounds like you, then you're ready to start learning. There is a treasure trove of free Blender tutorials on YouTube and around the various interwebs. And there's a huge range of creators with different styles and focus, so you're bound to find some that resonate with you. Here at cgcookie.com, we've dedicated ourselves to get you making things with Blender as quickly as possible. We've been around for a while, and we've seen what works and what doesn't when it comes to learning computer graphics. Our courses can guide you step by step from basics and fundamentals, all the way past what you'd learn from most college classes on the subject. We don't just teach you what buttons to push. We teach you the concepts of computer graphics from the ground up, so that you can create whatever you'd like without needing tutorials. Some of our courses can be packed with a lot of information because we want people to get as much out of them as possible. It can be a bit overwhelming to learn a lot of new terms and concepts all at once, but don't feel like you have to speed through these and master everything on the first try. Now, an approach that we would recommend is to take your time. It's perfectly fine to watch a lesson through just to get your bearings and understand what will be expected. Then, watch it again and follow along. And if you're feeling particularly confident, try the exercise without any guidance. You'll naturally get better, and soon enough, these techniques will become second nature. Now, this video series is available on YouTube, but if you sign up to our site, even as a free member, the site will track your progress, you'll gain access to any course files associated with this Blender course, and you'll be able to ask me questions in the comments section. When you're ready to progress, consider joining as a paid member and gain access to all of our other courses on a range of Blender topics. Depending on the course, you'll be prompted to submit exercises and get feedback. We also have a thriving community of artists that are learning alongside you. So don't hesitate to start a forum thread, document your process, or ask for feedback. You're also more than welcome to join our Discord. All the links I just mentioned are in the description below. Alright, I think that's enough of a preamble, so why don't we go ahead and download Blender. The best place to do this is, of course, blender.org. Right there on the front page, you'll see the current version and a download link. The website should automatically detect your operating system, so you can simply click on Download Blender to get your install file. Up here at the top, there are some useful links such as the requirements page, just to make sure that your computer can support Blender. If you're running an older computer or following along with some tutorials that were created in an earlier Blender version, you can download any previous build here. And if you're really enthusiastic, scroll down to the bottom of the page and be prepared to go experimental. Our recommendation, however, is to go with the current release or a long-term release version. Long-term release versions are supported well beyond the release date and have the widest documentation and course support available. You can also find Blender on the Microsoft App Store or on Steam, although these might not have the most up-to-date versions when it comes to bug release fixes. The first time you open up any new version of Blender, you'll be greeted with this splash screen. If you're coming to Blender from Maya or 3ds Max, you may be tempted to set your shortcuts to industry compatible. And while this does set up Blender to emulate a lot of well-known hotkeys that may be more familiar to you, it's by no means comprehensive, and you could quickly run into trouble if you follow along with course content. You also have the option to set Blender to your preferred language. Once you've addressed these initial areas, click on Continue, and the next time you open Blender, you'll see this splash screen. Here you'll see some helpful links, as well as different types of presets that you can start Blender in. Blender's preferences are a handy window to access for a number of reasons. You can access this panel from your edit menu or with the shortcut key Control-, On the left, there's a list of categories. I'm going to select Interface, and under the Display section, I'm going to adjust my resolution scale to 1.5. This is because I'm working on a 4K monitor, and I'd like to make all my buttons and text more visible to you. Blender allows you to install add-ons and themes. To do this, go over to where it says Get Extensions and allow Blender to access the internet. Then you can search add-ons and install them from here. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to install screencast keys, enable it, and customize it in a way that is least obtrusive but visible enough for you to see my hotkey mouse button combinations as I go through the lessons. Now, you don't need to install this add-on, of course, but now you know how to access extra stuff that isn't included in Blender from the initial install. So now that we have Blender all set up, let's learn about navigating its interface in the next lesson.